Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Ajian, and these are some of the top stories we have for you tonight. The governor names some new commissioners. Senator Positive Nelson responds to the governor's statements on funding and leadership. Find out who's St. Croix's Teacher of the Year. And Stephen Francis brings you racing from the Doc James Racetrack. These stories and more up next on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, Governor Gov DeJongh held a press conference earlier today. On the agenda, brand new commissioners.
I stand before you today confident that we have found two extraordinarily qualified individuals that will not only effectively manage these very important departments, but also help the next generation of leadership within these two agencies so that the Virgin Islands is ready for today and for whatever tomorrow holds. Dr. Mercedes Dullums has been a well-known figure in the Virgin Islands medical community for more than a dozen years. Born and raised in Jamaica, she's one of the top cardiac surgeons in Washington, D.C., where she served as managing director of a multi-physician, multi-million-dollar practice. Once she had left active surgical practice, she continued in the medical field, gaining valuable experience in healthcare administration as a senior official at the world-renowned Cleveland Clinic. Through her work at Cleveland Clinic, she has fought to reverse healthcare disparities here in the Virgin Islands and throughout the Caribbean. The telemedicine capability at our own Myra Keating Clinic is but one example of her efforts. Furthermore, she's well known and well respected for her leadership in providing education and training opportunities to the Virgin Islands medical community and has always had a strong focus on quality of care. Dr. Dullum will focus on addressing the major challenges and opportunities that exist in the Department of Health, ensuring quality, affordable care to those in our community, continuing the overhaul of our Medicaid system consistent with the President's health reform legislation, leveraging our federal grants to enhance the territory's public health delivery system. Mr. Henry White Jr. comes to us with 30 years of federal and local law enforcement experience. From his 8 years as a detective and state investigator at East Orange, New Jersey, to his 22 years as an FBI special agent, to his tenure as chief of police in Henry County, Georgia, Mr. White has gained the experience and management skills required to lead the V.I.P.D Police Department at this critical time. He started out as a street cop in urban New Jersey during the late 1960s, a difficult period in our country's history, and as a result, he understands the very basics of street policing. He worked his way up the chain within the FBI, having worked on some of the most high-profile federal task forces where the relationship between federal and local law enforcement was the key to success. Our police commissioner nominee managed civil rights issues within the Bureau, which makes him acutely aware of the issues currently faced by the police department with respect to the consent decree. Mr. White begins his tenure as acting commissioner today, and Dr. Dullum will begin her leadership of the Department of Health on December 1st.
And in other news tonight, over the weekend there was some sparring between Government House and certain members of the Senate. News Channel 8's Wes Small files this report.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. We're going to get right to it. I'm here with Senator Positive Nelson, and over the weekend, some scathing remarks coming out of Government House, some accusations back and forth. The Senator, I know that Senator O'Reilly, we kind of wish that she was here right now so she could speak for herself. But in a nutshell, both of you kind of went under the governor's wrath over the weekend in the press. The governor being criticized by Senator O'Reilly for turning a blind eye to the cancer awareness, especially for breast cancer, and then funds going elsewhere. If perhaps we could pretty much nail it down with problems inside the Senate legislature and then going against Government House. What is going on, Senator?
Well, the fact remains that three of us, myself, Senator O'Reilly, and Senator Neville James, did take a trip recently to Washington, D.C., and we met with several federal agencies, including the NTIA. That's the agency who granted the PFA the monies for this broadband. The governor seemed to have responded to some statements made, but the fact remains what they are. The NTIA had disclosed to us in our meetings that it was not necessary to create a separate organization to handle the broadband affairs here in the Virgin Islands, and my statement was very clear. The VINGN was not absolutely necessary in order to facilitate the advent of the broadband. The governor seemed to have taken objection to that and have stated that we are making statements for purely political reasons. Senator O'Reilly had made statements that WAPA in-kind contributions was not being accepted by the NTIA. Now these are facts. The facts are what they are. It's unfortunate, however, that the governor continues to do this media melee in making it appear that we are sitting senators are making statements for some type of political gain. I honestly believe that the people of the Virgin Islands are feeling more comfortable in trusting some of us than others, and I'm speaking to all political people. The governor wants to launch this attack. That's on him. We are focused on ensuring that we utilize federal monies as the purpose stated, as we state to the federal organizations, and we are also looking out and after the Treasury of the Virgin Islands, which, in my assessment, is being raided through all type of manipulative ways of this executive branch. I personally have reasons not to trust the governor. The governor still has not made it clear what he's going to do about the money he has taken to rebuild his home in St. Thomas. I'm offended by that. I'm a taxpayer, and I'm offended by that. And he sits there as though everything is okay, but everything is not okay. And they did not disclose to us what actions are pending, but there are definitely some pending federal actions, because we also met, by the way, with some attorneys in Attorney Holder's office. That's the U.S. Attorney General.
Are you saying possible criminal charges could come against the governor in the future?
I can't say what they are. I don't know. They are pending actions, and as you know, when these people work, they work until they're ready to disclose or apprehend or indict. And so I'm not making any statements other than there seems to be some pending actions towards the Virgin Islands, and it may be people in high places.
Senator Terrence Positive Nelson, and we also welcome Senator Nellie O'Reilly to get her words in as well in the future. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
And also tonight, the Virgin Islands Police Department literally lit things up in one housing community on St. Croix. Let's take a look.
Good night. I'm here tonight with Lieutenant Dennis Vanterpool and Sergeant Walton Jack of the Special Operations Bureau on an idea from Chief Howell, who's not here right now. And I got a call from him to come out and say, check out what we're doing tonight, because we've been able to get some of these high-powered construction lights on loan from a generous donor in the community who's enabling us to do some things in our community tonight. Here in Rio Diaz, as you can see, the kids were out. They were going to do an initiative, but in the process, they brought out the lights. They were at the playground, and at the insistence of the kids here, they said, please light up the basketball court for us. And as you can see, we have about 25 kids out here enjoying the night on a Friday night playing basketball. This is one of the ways that V.I.P.D is now trying to give back to the community and to assist in curtailing some of the activities that are going on in the community. So we do appreciate our benefactor for loaning us the lights out here tonight. I'm glad I got a chance to come out and see the officer in action. So here again, we have several officers from the Special Operations Bureau, and they're working with the community. And one of the nicest things is that the kids are having fun. And hopefully we'll be able to do more of this in the future.
And we want to thank Earl Morris for bringing us that footage tonight. When we come back from this break, find out who's St. Croix's Teacher of the Year. Let's take a look at your Caribbean report for tonight. In your Caribbean Report tonight, we start with the government of the Philippines that has announced a ban of the development of overseas Filipino workers in 41 countries, including 11 in the Caribbean. The development ban decision was made to comply with the Migrant Workers and Overseas Filipinos Act, which will only allow the government to send Filipinos to countries where the rights of the Philippine migrant workers are protected. Philippine embassies have certified that the following countries in the Caribbean are not compliant with the guarantees for protection for the rights of migrant workers: Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, the Cayman Islands, Cuba, Dominica, Haiti, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Turks and Caicos Islands, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. And turning now to Barbados, where Britain's Prime Minister David Cameron's controversial comments that countries receiving British aid should adhere to the proper human rights, including the reform of legislation banning homosexuality, continues with harsh criticism. The latest disapproval has come from the government's backbencher and long member of Parliament, Hamilton Lashley. He described the comments by Cameron as immoral and an act of terrorism on small developing states. Cameron made these remarks during the recently concluded Commonwealth Heads of Government Summit in Australia. And finally, in Haiti, Haitian President Michael Martelly returned to Haiti late last week after doctors in Miami performed surgery on his left shoulder. The 50-year-old leader said that the operation was to relieve pain in his shoulder that had bothered him for more than 5 years because of a previous career as a musician. Before he was elected president early last year, Martelly spent more than 20 years playing keyboard and singing under the stage name Sweet Mikey. Every time I lifted my left arm, I had pain, he told reporters at the airport's diplomatic lounge, his arm in a sling. I've come back strong and healthy. Martelly left last week for the United States, saying that he was going for medical treatment, but did not specify the problem. And that's your Caribbean Report for tonight. Well, now it's time to check in and find out who St. Croix's Teacher of the Year is.
Thank you very much, Jerome. We're excited to be at Elena Christian Junior High School with Miss Margaret Burnett. She is the St. Croix District Teacher of the Year, and a very proud Miss Burnett, I must add. Before we get into the curriculum and why you were chosen and things like that, and I just would like to get into your background. While you were talking to the other media, we understand that you hold several degrees and some postgraduate here at University of the Virgin Islands. Please explain what that is.
I hold a bachelor's degree in business administration as well as a master's degree in business administration. I then went back to school in 2006 and I earned my master's degree in education, administration, and supervision. And I want to publicly thank the University of the Virgin Islands for preparing me for the job that I do now as language arts teacher. I also went back to UVI again to become a certified English teacher.
Wow. All right. Well, you're definitely qualified. That's for sure. All right. Well, let's get into it. They could have chosen many teachers for this position, but this is not your first time. I understand this is your first time getting this particular award, but you've won about 5 other Teacher of the Year awards as well.
This is the 5th time that I've been named Teacher of the Year. Wow. So I'm very pleased to be recognized by my peers as an individual who's hardworking, dedicated, and committed to the children of the Virgin Islands.
Now here with Principal Carlos McGregor. Usually I'm here with him out in the field with Steve Bullock as we do rockets and so forth. But Miss Burnett, I had to get you in here to praise up your teacher. You must be very proud, Principal.
Oh, very, very proud, Wes. So proud of Miss Burnett. Well deserving. I mean, couldn't happen to a better person. And we were so excited when we heard the news that Ms. Burnett is the St. Croix District Teacher of the Year. Yeah. And we're hoping for her to become the Virgin Islands Teacher of the Year. So we're waiting for that news, and we hope it comes very soon. All right. But we're very, very happy to have Ms. Burnett here as part of our staff. And one of the things that Ms. Burnett puts into her lessons every day is love. She loves her students. She loves her teaching. As you can see, her door is never closed. Even lunchtime, she's in here with students, tutoring them. And we're very happy to have Ms. Burnett here, and we're very proud of her being recognized as St. Croix Teacher of the Year.
Congratulations, Ms. Burnett. Yeah. Did she kind of get in your case to make sure you got all the supplies and everything?
Oh, yeah. I got to be very sharp when it comes to Ms. Burnett, because she usually does this. And when I see her fold her arms, then I know I got to be very careful with how I proceed. But
that's the tell.
She keeps me sharp.
You students out there, the principal just gave you a heads up. If Ms. Burnett folds her arms, you better start getting busy. At Elena Christian Junior High School, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
When we come back from this break, Stephen Q. Francis has got your Sports 411 with racetrack highlights. Tonight in your Sports 411, Stephen Francis brings you the weekend horse racing action.
Thanks a lot, Joe. This past Sunday, racing fans at the Randall Doctrines racetrack were treated to 8 great races. Well, in the 7th race, the feature race of the day, we had a 2-horse clash after 3 horses were scratched from the card. So we had James Bobo Bates Slevin going head-to-head against Expect Smoke. Folks, without any further ado, let's go to the call of the race.
The bus and they're running. Expect Smoke, shot out of the cannon. Leads the way, running tactically. Slevin moves to the front. Taking the lead as the castle wire for the first time when it means nothing. Slevin under a tight hold going into the clubhouse turn. It's a 1-lane advantage over Expect Smoke. Slevin leading the way. They navigated 1 furlong and they're still moving with Slevin a length and a half in front of Expect Smoke. They ran the first 2 in a modest 24-1. As they enter the backstretch, that is Slevin leading the way by 1 length and a half. Expect Smoke is being asked for a little more run, but not giving it as yet. The advantage is now 2, and Slevin is moving casually on the front end. It is all Slevin early, 2-length advantage over Expect Smoke. They ran the first half in 47. It is still Slevin running comfortably and not being asked to run as they exit the backstretch. Expect Smoke is indeed to pick up the pace. Slevin with the parachute open. In the middle of the turn between 4 months ago, it is all Slevin. Slevin at the top of the turn casually. Ran the first 6 in 1:10.3. 1 furlong left. The winner was not Avenues. 16 to go. Slevin.
Wow, believe it or not, a new track record, 129.1. Oh, buddy. Well, folks, we were able to speak to owner James Bobo Bates after the race.
Hey,
we got him a couple months ago and he come along and he check the trip to good, running the coffee, tell us that he can talk on the road. He said to me today that my shoes we got the road. We got the running time feeling so we got the well, I want him to get a good workout when Thanksgiving comes.
Well, there's no if, buts, ands, or nothing about it. Mr. Bates, he have a terrific horse, man. Terrific horse. Folks, let's take a look at the rest of the day's results.
With 1 furlong to go, Slevin is trying to hold on. Coming on the outside is Jason Rowe. Running in the road is Savannah. Going way right for some reason is Slevin. Holding up to Lisa Rose, and Lisa Rose still unable to get there. Your winner.
In the first race, slew them with Jackie Sota in the saddles, took the 7 furlong race.
Running in second was Jalisa. Running in second position is Paul Gibb, but it's all over for the grind. Four winners for the Rouge for the wire. Winning by approximately 5. Running second.
In the second race of the day, it was Proto Fair with Jackie Sanchez taking the 7 furlong race.
Running second was Gypsy Sword. Hey, at the bottom of the turn down, this stretch they cover. Midnight Beckman in the outside, 1 furlong to go. This goes to well outside, and the train is on the wire. With a 16 to go. It is Midnight Beckman trying to hold on to the wire. And Midnight Beckman is your winner. Miss Kelsey, second.
In the third race of the day, Midnight Indictment with Jackie Claudio took in the 7 furlong.
And the trophy will go to a bit of madness. And now the stretch they come. A bit of madness right here. But here comes the line on the outside rail. Salty's running on the inside. Salty's running moving good. Salty's runner is going to get to the wire first. The Sink Boy horse racing stimulus package does it again. Salty's got up first.
In the fourth race, Salty's Glider with Jackie Sota in the 7.5 furlong race.
And down on the stretch they come. Destiny's Wild trying to hold on to the chopper. Destiny's Wild trying to hold on to the chopper. It's coming out too. Lady Gaga has to hold hard to get
In the 5th race of the day, Destiny Arrival with Jackie Soto in the 7th furlong.
And now the stretch may come. It is still green level 1-1. But the ladies of Trouble at home. Here comes Trouble at home. Screaming at the corner 16 low. Holding on is Green Sun. Trouble at home right there. Trouble at home. Green Sun 1 second. By a long neck. Running third, Santiago.
In the 6th race of the day, we had Trouble at Home with Jockey Elmo Barnes in the 7.5 furlong.
With a 16 to go, Spitfire is trying to get up, but it's not going to get down because it's MJ Kyler a length and a half to the one.
And in the 8th and final race of the day, it was MJ Callier safe with Jockey Guadalupe in the saddles. Folks, the next race day is November 27th. Make sure you go on and check it out. And don't forget, if you need yourself to get yourself a copy, you can check my main man, Mr. Wade from Wade Videos. Folks, that's a look at Sports 41 update. I'm Stephen Francis, the News Channel 8. Back to you.